everybody. I'm gonna just kind of, well, I guess I could always keep my coat on. I'm gonna stand off over here. Today we are making spaghetti, veggie spaghetti, and I already have my jar of tomato paste going. The way that I make my veggie spaghetti is I have a bell pepper, I have half an onion and 1 mushroom. And so when I looked at it, just the amount that I already have cooked right here, I can already tell that I'm gonna need more in there. So what I'm doing is I'm going back, and so now what this recipe is gonna have is it's going to have it's gonna have 2 small, or I guess 2 medium-sized mushrooms, 1 orange bell pepper, and then I'm going to cut up this to make a whole onion. So 1 onion, 1 bell pepper, and 2 medium-ish sized mushrooms. I cooked that, sauteed that over here in the pan. I already have my noodles cooked, and then I have everything over here. So that's just kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna find something to house this in. Oh, and then I cook my veggies separately. I cook the sauce separately just for a little while, and then I do my noodles separately. But it's all gonna be incorporated at the end. And so, yes. And I added in I have 1 jar of tomato sauce, and I added in a can of diced tomatoes. So that's what I have here: 1 onion, 1 bell pepper, 2 mushrooms, 1 can of tomato sauce, diced tomatoes, and then a little over half of the noodles. And this may be too many noodles, and if I cook too many, that's going to be okay. I'll reserve the leftover noodles for the stir fry that I'm going to need to make in a day or so. So the noodles won't be wasted. So since I already know that I'm going to be doing stir fry and veggie egg rolls later on the next day or so, this will be perfect. So then these noodles won't go to waste, because sometimes when I make too many, I don't really have anything to make with them, and I'm like, oh man. So anywho, they won't go to waste. And so what I do is I just kind of let all of this cook, and I'm going to find something to put those in. And you know what? I'm going to just put them in here. And what I do to my sauce is I do the can of tomato sauce, I do the jar of tomatoes, diced tomatoes, and then I also add in maybe like a half cup of broth. So that's just how I kind of do mine, and I season it, and then I just kind of let it simmer. And then I am going to, once this kind of like cooks for a little bit, then I'm going to also add in my veggies, and I'm going to cook them into the sauce with everything. So essentially it starts off being separate, and then it comes together to cook, and then once that's to my liking and what have you, then I'll add everything into the spaghetti. And the way we do our spaghetti is we put everything all together. So I kind of want to just get cooking so I can show you guys as much on camera as possible. So let me get these veggies out the way. They're not going to hurt anything by just kind of being on this little container platter thing. So, yeah. I'm going to do this over here. I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope you all are enjoying that life, that beautiful life that you have to live. It is yours. Own it. Own it. And then I'll probably come back after the fact and show you guys. But, yeah, so what I'm doing now is mainly I'm trying to hurry and get this together. So I got 2 cups. I might have too much liquid, because I don't need that much liquid, you know. So that's about a half a cup. And then I'm going to get my broth going over here. That's what I'm about to do. And the broth on the inside of it just gives it just makes it so much, it just makes it really good. So then I have to go get the clothes from upstairs as well. So that's kind of what you guys just see me doing. I don't need to clean the pot or anything like that. It's just veggies that was in there. For me, it's not that big of a deal. And then you guys see, I just made the broth over here. It needs a little more paste in there, I can tell. And then, like I said, and then I season it as well. So this is how you make it. You just add it to hot boiling water. And boom. And then, like I said, I'm gonna hit it with some. This is probably the equivalent to, because mind you, I have to shake it out, you know, and you're seasoning it. It's already seasoned, but I also season it as well, you know. So this is probably like equivalent to a tablespoon, teaspoon, whatever. You know, you get a spoon, and you know, if you were to dip the spoon in there and season it to your taste. If you like more seasoning, cool. If you don't, if you're just like, I'd rather not, then, you know, you just got to do to your liking. But what I figured out is with a lot of things, you have to season to your liking as well, too. So sometimes when it looks like I put a lot in, it's almost like, no, that's cool, you know, because you got all the other flavors and everything, too. Because sometimes what happens is when you don't cook the sauce out of it, if that kind of makes sense, you guys, like, if you don't cook it down a little bit, what I notice is it still has that, what I'll notice is that it still has, that, what do you, like, that tomato-y taste. I don't know. So it's like I have to cook it down, and then not only cooking it down, but then I also have to, not only cooking it down, but then I also have to season it as well, too. I do my beans like that. When I do my red beans, you guys will see when I come back. But this is Carter's Corner. Yeah. And anybody that's like been on my Snapchat and stuff, like y'all already know. So I just love it. I enjoy fixing things. When I'm on track, y'all, I can get going pretty good, you know. So I'm cutting very sloppily. I'm cutting fast because I had 3 minutes on them clothes up there, and I know 3 minutes is probably already up. I used to try to cut it all super small. As long as I cut it and it's not too big, I'm okay. I don't like them super, super big, but I mean, but at this point, they don't have to be super tiny, because I used to be one of the ones to where I was cutting them like little tiny. I was really dicing them, and now I'm just like, man, they're going to be cooked down. They're going to be soft. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm just mainly, because this is going to be in here like, shh. See, I just mainly have to get it in there. And then, yeah, and then I just cut these in like slices. Can y'all see that? See, they're in slices. I don't know if you can see it that well, but that's kind of what's going on, because I'm also trying to get myself in a really good system, because yeah, I need to be preparing more. I need to be more consistently doing it, you know. And when all this stuff cooks down, it's not that much. I thought that was going to be enough of what I had. I'm like, man, because you got to think, like, this is technically like our meat replacement. So, you know, if you're making just a good pot of spaghetti, you're going to use about a pound of ground beef or turkey meat, or, you know, whatever meat you use. So I'm not saying that this has to be equivalent to a pound, but when we make it and we eat it, I don't want it to be that you're tasting more sauce. You know, like we need it bulked up per se, and it wasn't bulked up enough. And this, if this ain't gonna bulk it up, it's just gonna have to do. This'll be enough, you know. But that what I had, it once it mixes in with the sauce and stuff, it wouldn't have sufficed. So I just kind of went back, and I'm glad, because I could have started off and it could have been too much to begin with. So that's the one thing I like about kind of just making it little by little. Sometimes I'm like, look, we're just gonna go for the gusto. It'll work. It'll just kind of be, you know. So I'm just gonna put a little water in that. I could have put something else in there, but whatever, it ain't that big of a deal. And then remember, I told y'all we just gonna season this up. We just gonna kind of let this do its thing. And then I kind of forgot to rinse this out. And then I'm rinsing this out and putting this back in here. And then I'll probably do another video of when it's like done. But I just kind of wanted you guys to see how this looks. and kind of like what I do. Oh, y'all know what I forgot? The minced garlic. How did I forget that, y'all? It's back here somewhere. And then that way, I don't know, this might be like stick your spoon in there and put that in there, but my grandma and all them always said that you need some garlic. Now, I don't have fresh garlic. I just kind of have, you know, like to where I cut. So, I don't know, and I don't never measure the garlic. I just take it and I put some garlic in here. That might have been like 2 spoonfuls, but that's just how I do it. And then we kind of stir this around, because it's your sauce that you want on point. Like, you know, everything else is cooked. The veggies and all that kind of stuff, that's already cooked. You don't have to too much worry about that. But it's everything else, which is what people gonna taste, that you want your sauce to be good. And it's like trial and error, you know, like sometimes I'm like, ooh, that could have been a little bit better. And then I'm like, well, hey, we got food. Y'all better be happy y'all got something to eat, you know. Somebody try to do something nice and make sure you got what you need. You know, you can only criticize and stuff but so much. So me, I like this. I like these things that really kind of be cooking. This don't take that long. They're browning. They were already kind of browning anyways, because, you know, and so I just take my remaining portobello mushrooms, is what these are. If anybody's wondering what kind of mushrooms, these are portobello mushrooms. And if I would have did this the first time, I wouldn't be doing this again, but it wasn't enough the first time. So you have 2 mushrooms, 2 portobello mushrooms. I season all the way through, you guys. So y'all probably see me hit this with a little, I mean, yeah, I mean, I probably don't have to, but I couldn't find my my basil, because I would have at least did that into, you know, I like to season the vegetables as well too, you know, because when you bite into those and whatnot, you kind of want them to be kind of, you know. So, and I just hit it with a little bit, see, because I would have already, like my oregano, I was already gonna put it in here anyways. So for me, I don't too much mind. You know, it's spices, so I feel like you can kind of season how you need to with the spices. And then, yeah, and like I said, I'll come back to you guys, you know, when I'm more finished. But I mean, this right here, for the most part, I could probably be done with this. Yep, I'm gonna hit this for y'all real quick and do this while we up on camera. Cause mind you, everything don't have to cook, because I'm gonna let this simmer for a minute too, and kind of let it cook in here as well. So now that I think about it, I'm gonna just do this for y'all on camera. I'll do everything for y'all. Then that way, okay. Remember our first mixture. Boom, into here we go. Get my hands all clean. We don't want to leave nothing behind. And then now we kind of have that. That ain't gonna hurt it if it lay in there. Ain't gonna hurt, not too much of nothing. All right, and so boom. And then y'all see this how I do my spaghetti. And then I'm gonna let this simmer and cook just for a hot little second. All this goodness is gonna go right up in here. And matter of fact, I'm gonna transfer this back to this back here. Y'all see that? And then y'all see, here's the mixture right here. Let me show y'all. And then y'all see. Okay. Oh, because I got the camera turned around. Can y'all see that mixture? You guys see how it's bulked up now? That if you were to eat this, you're going to be actually biting into veggies. And realistically, it could have used probably another, mushroom, but that's okay. But now, as you guys are looking into here, you can actually see, you know, like, oh, okay. So we'll be having something else besides just sauce in here. And that's what my whole entire point was. I'm going to let this simmer. After I let this simmer till I feel like it's to my liking for a little while, then I will come back and then I will add these noodles into there, mix it together, and that's our spaghetti. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you later. Peace out.